Have you all read the lesson? Okay. You have to read the lesson. Many of you are very lazy nowadays, isn't it? When I called your parents, I came to know that many of you are not spending enough time for learning. You must always remember that you are in 10th standard and you are going to appear for the board exam. Since there is only one subject per day, you have enough and more time to complete all the work related to that particular topic. And still I could find many children whose notebooks are incomplete. And I had told them, at least from the day I called onwards, you have to complete the work systematically. And I am sure that you will do it. Last class, we had discussed the terms that is coming in this chapter. Since you have not learned anything related to this chapter, particular chapter, in the previous classes, I had introduced all the new terms. I hope you have understood it. Today, we will be discussing the different laws put forward by Mental through his experiments. So the topic for today is heredity itself, but the different laws put forward by Mental. How did he put forward these laws? Yes, by conducting monohybrid cross and dihybrid cross. Which are the two crosses conducted? Monohybrid cross and dihybrid cross. Why did he choose the pea plants for his experiments? Quick. Yes, because there were a lot of variations in the pea plants. What are variations? Differences that you see in an organism is called as variation. So today, let us learn the monohybrid process and dihybrid process conducted by Mental. Mental chose pea plants for his experiments. He chose pea plant for his experiment because pea plant showed many contrasting characters. It can be in the flower color, pod color, shape of the pod, height of the plant, etc. There are so many variations. Second reason was that these plants were annuals. What are annuals? They complete the life cycle within a year. Third, these flowers were bisexual flowers, and so there was scope for self-pollination, but cross-pollination could also be done. Fourth, they produce large number of seeds. Clear? And fifth, it was easily available. Less care need to be given to grow these plants. So these were some of the important points or some important reason for choosing pea plants for his experiment. Please note that points in your notebook. Okay. We shall now learn the monohybrid cross and the law put forward by Mental through this cross or through this experiment. What is a monohybrid cross? It is a cross between two individuals of the same species, which studies the inheritance of the two traits for the same character. So we are crossing two individuals of the same species. And what are we studying? We are studying the inheritance of the two traits of the same character. Is it clear? Now here the character which we are taking is height. The character is height. Which are the two traits for height? The character height. Some are tall and some are dwarf. So the two traits which we are taking for the same character height is tall and dwarf. And Mental represented the character by using alphabets. Dominant character is represented by using capital letters, and the recessive character is represented by using small letters. You will understand what is dominant and what is recessive by the end of this session. So he represented tallness by using capital T and dwarfness by using small t. Let me use color chalk for this. Capital T, tallness is represented by capital T. I am writing with yellow color, and dwarfness is represented by using small letters. During gamete formation, already you have learned in the previous chapter, during gamete formation, this pair of alleles will separate, segregate, and each gamete will receive one of this. So, they will get separated and go to separate gametes. And when they fuse, now both are capital T, here both are small t. So, it doesn't make any difference. So, when these gametes, whichever is the gamete, when they fuse, the next generation, there will be one capital T and one small t. Hope you have understood. This is the zygote. This is the combination. Once again I repeat, tall plant is crossed with dwarf plant. It is represented by capital T and dwarfness by small t. When during gamete formation, they segregate, they separate. So each one will go to separate gametes. So when they fuse, since both are same, I am writing it as one. Okay. It's when this T and this T will come together, this capital T, small t. Phenotypically, what do you mean by phenotype? The external appearance of the plant. The external appearance of this particular plant is tall. This is F1 generation, the first generation. All the plants produced are tall. What is the next procedure? The procedure what he followed is same. The next step, in order to produce the F2 generation plants, what did he do? He self-bred the F1 generation plant. He went for self-pollination. First is cross-pollination. Next, in the F2 generation, for producing F2 generation plants, he did self-pollination. That is, this capital T, small t, capital T, small t is crossed with capital T, small t. This plant is self-pollinated. So, capital T, small t is crossed with capital T, small t. During gamete formation, this T will form one gamete. This T will form another gamete. This T will form one gamete. And this T will form another gamete. Hope you can understand it. When fertilization takes place, there are four possibilities. This T, capital T, and this T can come together. This T and this T can come together. This T and this T can come. Next possibility. This T and this T can come together. Next possibility. So, the result will be capital T, capital T, capital T, small t, capital T, small t, small t, small t. Which generation is it? F2 generation. Once again I repeat, F1 generation plants were produced by crossbreeding a tall plant with dwarf plant. All the plants produced in the F1 generation were tall. In all the experiments conducted by Mendel, though he took two contrasting traits for a character, F1 generation plants resembled only one of the parent. Though he had taken two parental characters, two contrasting characters, parents with two contrasting characters, F1 generation, all the plants produced resembled only one of the parent. So, which parent did it resemble here? Yes, tall parent. All the plants produced were tall. What did he do for the F2 plants or F2 generation? He self-bred the F1 generation plants. This is the F1 generation plant, tall plant. Capital T, small t is self-bred. When he self-bred, in the F2 generation, he got both the parental characters were seen in the F2 generation. He got tall plants. These three are tall. And one is dwarf. Here, capital T, capital T, capital T, small t, capital T, small t. Sorry. So, dwarfness is represented by green color. So, I write the C. So, here capital T, capital T, capital T, small t, capital T, small t. So, all these three plants, when you see from outside, they were tall plants. 3 were tall. And only one, that is small t, only one was dwarf. Is it clear? So in the F2 generation, both the parental characters were seen. And the plants were produced in the ratio 3:1. 3:1 is the phenotypic ratio of monohybrid cross. This is often asked for 1 mark question. What is the phenotypic ratio of a monohybrid cross conducted by Mendel? What do you mean by phenotype? The external appearance of the plant is called as, what you can see is the phenotype. The representation capital T small t like this, what you represent is the genotype, genes. These letters are representing genes. So the phenotypically, when you see from outside, there were 3 tall plants and 1 dwarf plant. So what is the phenotypic ratio of a monohybrid cross? 3:1. What does 3 represent? Yes, tall plant. And what does 1 represent? Dwarf plant. What is the percentage of tall plants produced in the F2 generation in a monohybrid cross? 75%. Isn't it? What is the percentage of tall plants produced in the F2 generation in a monohybrid cross? 75%. What is the percentage of dwarf plant produced in the F2 generation in a monohybrid cross? 25%. Hope you have understood it. Okay. Now we will see what is a genotype. Now in a monohybrid cross, we already learned what is the phenotypic ratio. What is the phenotypic ratio? 3:1. So here capital T, small t. In both this condition, externally or when we see, the plant was tall. But dwarfness was seen. The plant was seen to be dwarf only when the genes were small t. Clear? So here capital T and capital T small t. In both this condition, the plant was tall. That is why we said it is 3:1. What ratio is it? Phenotypic ratio. Phenotype is 3:1. Whereas genotype, you can see phenotype is 3:1. Phenotypic ratio. But when we see the genes, genotypic ratio, genotype of the plants are seen in the ratio. See, capital T is pure tall. Initially I told you pure for its character. That means both the alleles are same. Both the alphabets are written same, capital letters. So how many pure tall plants are there? 1. 1 pure tall plant. How many heterozygous tall? How many capital T small t and capital T small t's are there? 2. So that was also tall plant, but the genotype was different. It was heterozygous, different. One was capital T, one was small t. And small t, how many are there? 1. So 1:1. 1 is dwarf. 1 pure tall, capital T. 2 heterozygous tall, capital T, small t. It was capital T, small t, but still the plant was tall. And 1 dwarf. So what is the genotypic ratio of a monohybrid cross in the F2 generation? 1:2:1. Please learn this. It is very important. What is the percentage of the plants, pure plants produced in the F2 generation? Pure plant, tall plants. 25%. What is the percentage of heterozygous tall plant in a monohybrid cross in the F2 generation? 50%. What is the percentage of dwarf plants produced in the F2 generation in a monohybrid cross? 25%. Is it clear? 25% pure tall. 50% heterozygous tall, which is not pure for the character. Why are we saying it is not pure? Because one is capital letter, one is small letter. One represents tallness, other represents dwarfness. But in this condition, which character is expressed out? The letter which represents tallness. Isn't it? That only the character which is represented by the capital letter only is expressed out. But the green color which I have written, small t, the small t, which character does which trait does the small t represent? Dwarfness. When did the dwarfness get expressed? Only when both the alleles are same, when both was small t. Can you follow? So, tallness can be expressed both in the homozygous condition and also in the heterozygous condition. The trait that can be expressed in a heterozygous condition is called as dominant. Dominant trait. The trait which can be expressed in the homozygous and heterozygous condition. Especially in the heterozygous condition, the trait which can express itself. Here, tallness is the dominant character. The trait which cannot express itself in a heterozygous condition is called as recessive. Recessive character. Dominant character is a character which can express itself in the heterozygous condition. In the presence of capital T, small t, which trait is expressed? Tallness. The letter which represents capital letter. So, capital letter which represents the character is expressed. That is tallness. So, tallness is dominant. The trait which cannot express itself in the heterozygous condition is recessive. Which is a recessive character here? Dwarfness. Because the small t was not able to express itself in the heterozygous condition. It can express itself only in the homozygous condition. That is why it is called as recessive. So from this cross, Mendel put forward the first law, that is law of dominance. What does the law of dominance say? What does it explain? Law of dominance explains that certain characters will be expressed or will have the ability to express itself in the heterozygous condition and also in the homozygous condition. But certain characters will not be expressed in the heterozygous condition. They can express itself only in the homozygous condition. So the character which can express itself in the heterozygous condition is dominant, and the character which cannot express itself in the heterozygous condition is recessive. Hope it is clear to you. So please write this crossing as you listen to the class. Note down this cross, take a rough paper, work it out without looking the class, and then copy the same into the notebook. When you explain this answer, there is a question in your textbook. After this particular topic, there is a question. Two questions are there. One related to monohybrid cross, another related to dihybrid cross. I am not taking dihybrid cross today. I will be taking it in the next class. So when you write it, first paragraph you will write what are the characters or the traits selected, which is the character selected, and what are the two different traits, contrasting trait in that character. You will write, Mendel chose P plan for the experiments. He took two contrasting traits for the character height. He crossed a tall plant with dwarf plant. Tall plant, in the bracket you can write capital T, capital T. And in the dwarf plant, in the bracket you can write small t, small t. That is the first paragraph. Second paragraph you will write, for producing the F1 generation, he crossbred these two plants. In the F1 generation, all the plants produced were tall. It represented only one of the parent. All the plants produced in the F1 generation resembled only one of the parent. The plants were produced in the ratio 3:1. 3 tall and 1 dwarf. Second paragraph is over. Third paragraph. He produced the F2 generation plants by self-pollinating the F1 plants. You can show the cross also. In the F2 generation, the plants were produced in the ratio 3:1. That is 3 tall and 1 dwarf. The genotypic ratio was 1:2:1. That is 1 pure tall, 2 heterozygous tall and 1 dwarf. From this we can understand that certain characters are hidden. In the F1 generation, the trait dwarfness was there, but it was hidden. It was not able to express itself. But the same was expressed in the F2 generation when both the alleles are same. So the character which can express itself in the F1 in the heterozygous condition is dominant, and the character which cannot express itself in the heterozygous condition is recessive. That is the answer. answer. You can score full 3 mark if you write in this way. Hope it is clear to you. So please note down this crossing as you listen to the class. Note down this crossing as you listen to the class. If there is any doubt, you may please ask me. Thank you.